So, read it again. After that, we all packed up and moved from Hawthorne to Torrance, where the kids were friendlier and their parents were more open and welcoming. After we got settled in and situated, I started school again at Wilshire West, but it was not what I anticipated it to be. I was in the same class with classmates who did not like or understand me. We also got new teachers who also did not understand me. Neither did they want to take the time to do so. When I was trying to concentrate on my studies, they were being very disruptive and distracting, and I could not get my work done on time. The teachers would give me bad marks and sometimes detention every time I was frustrated with my classmates. They did little to nothing to correct them. And when the teacher finally sent one of the students home, he blamed me for it. It did not matter what I tried to do. I could not understand that I was not wanted there. I do believe that was the devil's way of getting back to me for staying in that school and out of Tobin World. And like I said before, the devil wants you to fail, and the devil wants you to fail miserably. So, anyway, I was sent home so many times, which annoyed me. This went on during my first, second, third, fifth, and sometimes sixth period. The only class I did not have problems in was fourth period because the teacher understood me. I remember the classes I took because the first was math, second was driver's education, the third was English, the fourth was science, the fifth was history, and the sixth was basketball. The first, third, and fifth period were core classes, homeroom classes, while the other three, second, fourth, and sixth, were my electives. My, my homeroom teacher and second period teacher were not very supportive. I could not concentrate and they did not care. They just wrote things on the board and gave us books. That they did not help us much with anything, and I just got more and more frustrated. Okay, so at home, it was not much different. My former stepmother was not supportive. She would control how I did things, how I sat, and how I wanted things, and how she wanted things everywhere. No matter how hard I tried, it was nearly impossible to please her or make her happy. That was an extra burden that I did not want to deal with. During during dinner one time, I was told by my father and former stepmother that I was not allowed to celebrate Halloween or do anything that day. Even my Halloween decorations were taken away from me for good. Nevertheless, I disobeyed and started making Halloween pictures at school. Sorry. Oh boy. I disobeyed and started making Halloween pictures at school. Okay. Here we go. I thought that I could celebrate it at school, but there was an incident that caused me not to go to school on the day they were celebrating the event. I was hit with a basketball really hard. There I was mad and very frustrated. I did not want to ride with anyone. So my father came and got me and took me home, but he seemed very unhappy with me, even though he did not really say. I believe that I believe that me getting I believe that me getting the basketball thrown at me was a punishment or discipline for disobeying my father when he said that I could not do anything for Halloween that year. God knows what he is doing, but I ignored that and dealt with the consequences of my actions that day. See, God will, and besides, Halloween is not something that is not, Halloween is not something God approves of when it comes to all the stuff being hung around. So that's why now today I learned to stand clear from from the Halloween. But anyway, let's continue. Yeah, I ignored that and dealt with the consequences of my actions that day. It wasn't long after that, when Thanksgiving and Christmas time came, that things began to get elevated. My former stepmother was so controlling that even though I was in the shower, she would not give me any privacy. She told me how I was to take a shower. She even tried to open the curtain and watch me. Then at the end, she took down my Christmas decorations. That really got me flared up. On the way to school and the beginning of the school periods, I was having more fights and fits of rage because the other students were not making it any better at all, but making it worse. Between the beginning and the middle of the school time, I was sent to the doctor. They decided to send me back to another psychiatric hospital. This time it was Van Nuys Hospital, my third hospital. It was from Kaiser, but it was located at a different site. That's why they call it Van Nuys site. I think that place is okay. So that was 1994. Anyway, at the hospital, the staff were strict. The lounge was small. The OT occupational therapy room was dirty and disorganized, and the schooling there was not very good. Okay, and the school was pretty much disorganized and unprofessional. It was just like scattered in times and all that. It's like we're supposed to go, and then they said we had to go to this and there. It was just not really the kind of place I wanted to stay in. But anyway, the food was the only so the schooling there was not very good because it was disorganized and everything. I didn't write that it was disorganized. I just added that. The food was the only thing that was pretty good, and the recreation area as well. However, there was this one girl that I did not feel comfortable being around for some reason. At the end of her stay, she was very rude to me in the OT room. I was so happy that she was leaving because I did not want to have to deal with her anymore. She was very beautiful, but she already had a boyfriend there. After she left, I thought I thought I would after she left, I thought that I would have some room for improvement and joy. However, it was worse. On the same day that she left, an hour or so after she did, I was locked up in a quiet room where I started kicking the door. I had my shoes taken away from me and eventually given a painful injection. That really taught me that there are hospitals that are like USC, where I got a few injections. They did not hurt at USC, but it did hurt when I was at Van Nuys site. Kaiser didn't have any injections, but let's see if I written that down. Also, I learned that this girl was planning on coming back to the unit for a visit with her boyfriend on Christmas Eve. There, I was so scared that I asked my father if he could help me get out of there before. I was depressed and upset. I could not do anything else other than cry and hide in my bedroom closet. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and get this. We're gonna go ahead and do this video again. So I'll be right back.